Alrighty, I'm going to work out the first page of your Chapter 9 chapter review practice test. Questions 1 and 2 ask for both the surface area and the volume. So I'm going to start off with volume first because it's a little bit easier. So I'm going to be organized. I'm going to write my formula. This is a prism. It is volume equals base area times height. I can notice right down here, and I'll shade it in, that right there is my base. Okay, so that's a rectangle, so it's base times height. So this is volume equals base times height times height. And then I can substitute my values in. This is volume is equal to 1.5 times 3 times 6.4. Can multiply that out, 1.5 times 3 times 6.4. And I get 28.8 meters cubed. Nice and organized. V equals 28.8 meters cubed. Make sure you put the V equals so I know that you are solving for volume. Now I'm going to work on my surface area, which can get a little bit harder. So use your colors, use your strategies to help you. I have my colors out here as well. I'm going to shade in this piece here and this piece here because they're the same. So these are my yellow pieces. I'm going to be very organized. That is a rectangle. So it is area is equal to base times height. Area is going to be equal to 1.5 times 3. 1.5 times 3. And I get 4.5 meters squared. So I know that this is 4.5 and this is 4.5. And once I do all my pieces, I'll be able to add them up. All right. Now I'm going to do my front piece here and the back piece, which is going to be back there. We can't really see it, but we know that there are 2 of them. So these are my blue pieces. And the dimensions of my blue pieces are right here and right here. So this right here is 6.4 and this is 1.5. Again, it's base times height. 6.4 and 1.5, 6.4 times 1.5. And you get area is equal to 9.6 meters squared. So I know that this piece is 9.6 and this piece is 9.6. All right, my last ones are the ones on each side. So I know I have one here and then one on the other side that you can't see, but I know that there are 2 orange ones. Okay, and so the dimensions are going to be 6.4 times 3, so this is area equals base times height. 6.4 times 3. Area is equal to 6.4 times 3, and you get 19.2. So this is 19.2. This one's 19.2. And when I add all of that up, there's 2 of each because there's 6 faces on this prism. Your surface area will add to 66.6 meters squared. All right, there's number 1. Let's go on to number 2. This is a triangular prism. Again, we have to find the volume and surface area, and I'm going to do the volume first. Volume equals base area times height. The difference between this one is that my base happens to be a triangle. Okay, so I know that this is my base and this is my height. If you draw a little guy, his feet are always on the base and he's sitting up against the chair against the height. So this is volume equals 1/2 base times height times height. Volume equals 1/2. The base right here is 5. The height is 12. And the height of the entire prism is 8. So when I calculate this all out, 5 times 12 times 8 and divide by 2, I get a volume of 240 inches cubed. Again, organized, V equals. All right, now I'm going to start on my surface area, and I always like to start with my bases first. So I'm going to color them in, and I know that there are 2 of them. So there's this triangle here, and there's this triangle in the back here. So I'm going to draw them out. I have 2 triangles. The formula for area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Area is equal to 1/2. The base is 5. The height is 12. There's my guy. His feet are on the base. Area is equal to 5 times 12 divided by 2. And it is 30 inches squared. So I know that this is 30 and this is 30. This is a triangular prism, therefore there will be 3 rectangle faces. And if this dimension is 12 and this dimension is 5 and this dimension is 13, it's a scalene triangle. So none of my rectangles will be the same. So let's take care of this bottom one down here. I'll make it blue. So there it is right there. And that one has the dimensions of 5 times 8. So this is base times height. 5 times 8, 40 inches squared. So that one is 40, and I'm going to mark it 40 to keep myself organized. So everything in one of my colored boxes is going to be part of my surface area. The next one I have is this big one in the back. I'm going to color that one orange. I'll draw an orange rectangle here. And the dimensions of that orange one are 12 by 8. So this is base times height, 12 times 8. 12 times 8 is 96. So that's 96 inches squared. So I'm going to put a 96 in there. And I have one last one. Let me get another color. It's this big one in the front right here. So that's going to be my green one. And I know that the dimensions of that are 13 by 8. So this is area equals base times height. 13 times 8. 13 times 8 is 104 inches squared. I'm going to put 104 in the green box. And if I add up all these individual pieces, 40, 30, 30, 96, and 104, I'll put it right here. I get a surface area of 300 inches squared. All right, stop this, pause this, rewind this, do whatever you need to do to follow along, okay? Okay, we're going to go to number 3, pyramids. They look a little crazier, but they're a lot easier. And all we need to do is find the surface area. Okay, so I know that a pyramid is 1/3 of a prism, so I'm going to start by writing my formulas. Oh, that's for volume, so this is just surface area. We're just trying to find all the areas of each individual piece. All right, so I'm going to start by identifying my base, which is down here. That's a square. Draw it out. Square. Area equals base times height, so area is equal to 1.7 times 1.7. 1.7 times 1.7 is equal to 2.89. So that's my base, and there is only one of those. Now I have a square, which means I have 4 triangles to deal with. So I'm just going to look at this one. I'm going to highlight it green, but down here I'm going to draw 4 because there are 4 of them. So this is area equals 1/2 base times height. 1/2, my base is 1.7, but the height of my triangle is 2. 1.7 times 2 divided by 2, and you get 1.7 again inches squared. So I know that this piece is 1.7, this piece is 1.7, this piece is 1.7, and this piece is 1.7. So there are 4 of them. So I have 2.89 from the base plus 4 faces that are 1.7. If I add all of that up, okay, you get 9.69, but the directions say to round to the nearest tenth. So your surface area is 9.7 inches squared. All right. Moving on to number 4. It's a triangular pyramid surface area, so our base, which is down here. I know they're kind of hard to see. There's only one of them. Looks something like that, and it's a triangle. So do your triangle formula, 1/2 base times height. Area is equal to 1/2. The base is back here. It's kind of hard to see, but if you turn your paper over for a moment, you can see if I draw a little guy here, his feet are right there on the base, okay? So the base is 11, and then my height is right here, and that's 9.5. So 1/2 times 11 times 9.5, and I get an area of 52.25 meters squared. So the base right here is 52.25. And since it's a triangular pyramid, then I have 3 triangle faces to deal with. So that's 1, 2, 3. Area equals 1/2 base times height. Area is equal to 1/2. We have that same base of 11 because it's a regular pyramid, which means the base is an equilateral triangle, times the height of 14. And I know that 1/2 of 14 is 7. 7 times 11 is 77 meters squared. So each of these pieces are 77. So I have 3 of those. So my total surface area is 52.25 times 3 times 77. 77 times 3 plus 52.25. I get a surface area of 283.25 meters squared. All right, I'm going to stop there, and then I will finish up with cylinders and page 2.